Hello YouTubers, Handsome Jack here. Uh, it's September 30th, 3:25 in the afternoon. Done nothing but rain for I think 3 days here. It's cold outside today. It's only 57 out. Uh, as you know, if you've watched any of our videos, on the house that we have up for sale, I have 9.3 kilowatts of solar panels on it. And I was thinking originally of going completely off grid. So that's why that's why I put so many solar panels up. But we never did. We stayed on grid. And this is something that if you're thinking about putting solar panels up, you might want to think about. We never did go off grid because the panels right now are making us money. They're helping pay for themselves because I am connected to the grid. We make way more power than what we can use. But what I was originally going to do is I was going to add another kilowatt to the back roof. And that kilowatt that I was going to put on the back would have sent us up to 10.3. But I was not going to hook them in to the panels that I have now. I was going to keep them completely separate. The reason for that is I was going to put battery backup out there and use that for running the house at night. So really we would be totally off grid because we wouldn't use any grid power at all coming in, day or night. But if something happened, we could. But the nice thing is all the power that I make basically goes to the grid except for what little we use, and we didn't use much. Even in the house, I mean, we're in the RV now. We're plugged into the power here, but we never really used that much in the house. Even though she has dishwasher, dryer, washer, and all that, we still made more than what we could use. But with the battery backup on the back side at night, I could have switched over to that and used that to run the house at night. Then I wouldn't be pulling in from the pole some of the power I'd made during the day. We never got that far, but the thing is, it would take nothing to add that on now. I wouldn't need a big, I wouldn't need the inverter that's in there now is like $5,000. I wouldn't have needed anything anywhere near that big. I'd just need something good for, big enough to handle however big a battery bank I wanted to put in. To charge the batteries themselves. I would have put in a big enough battery bank so that we could have gone at least 2 to 3 days on batteries at night. And that way, you get days like today where they're not producing a lot. And with a 9.3, they do produce quite a bit, even on a day like today. But 1 kilowatt wouldn't produce enough to... Battery might last 2 days if I was lucky. Depending on what you run at night. But even with the panels on the front, when she ran the washer and dryer and all that stuff, she always did stuff. She tried to work it so it was always on the super sunny days that she did stuff. So we produced more electricity that day, and what she used, it would offset because it was a super sunny day out. But people say, well, I want to be completely off grid. Why? Why would I want to go completely off grid? As long as I'm getting paid for the power that I'm putting in. It's something to think about. If you're completely off grid and you're making more power than you can use, it's wasted. So this way it's not. This way I get paid for it. And there's a lot. If you work your schedule around for your washing and your drying and all that stuff around certain times of the day and certain sunny days, you won't use that much. Well, you'll still be using the power, but you'll be making the power. And like with us, we made more than what we needed for that. So basically, we would be off grid, but we'd still be making power from the grid. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I should have done a video about this before, but truthfully, I didn't think about it. Well, now that we're in the RV, it doesn't matter anyhow. But I'm just saying, for somebody that's thinking about getting them, I think that's the way to go. I mean, a lot of people want to go completely off. That's fine. But for me, I say no. As long as you can get something back out of the electric company, take advantage of it. It's just extra money in your pocket that you can use maybe to buy a couple more solar panels or something like that. You don't have to make a ton, but if you make any at all, it's something you didn't have before. And like I say, with the battery night backup, you don't have to pull even at night. You don't have to pull power. And I got right now roughly 13 grand in what we've got in there, and it would probably cost. It's not cheap to put in. It would probably, although it's a lot cheaper than it used to be, to put the battery backup in. I could probably figure on spending another probably 5 grand. Would put it in. Maybe a little less than that. And then you've got both, best of both worlds. You've got the best because you're off grid, and you've got the money coming in from the pole. So even though you're connected to the pole, you're still not using it. So that puts you basically completely off grid. But I just thought I'd make this video to let people know what our original plans were. And maybe make them think a little bit when they're putting that solar on there. They might want to stay connected to the grid just for that little bit of extra cash you can get back at. I don't care if you're only getting $10 a month out of them. It's $10 you didn't have. And that $10, you save it, spend a couple $100, buy a couple more panels, just keep throwing them up there. All you're going to do is make more money. And if something does happen where, you know, if the grid went down for a week or so, you still have power if it's sunny out. So, you know, you got best of both worlds, really. Anyway, this is Handsome Jack. I just thought I was sitting out in the garage having a cigarette, and I got thinking about it, what we were gonna do here. And we got about 2/3 of it done. I just never did the battery backup for nights. And I got thinking about it, and I thought, geez, you know, I was watching some off-grid movies, and I wonder why aren't some of these people hooked up? Because they've got to be making more power they can use, unless they've only got like 1 or 2 solar panels. But if you have any panels up there at all, and you're conservative, you can still do it, and just take the extra money that you get and put it back into more solar. I don't know, maybe a lot of the stuff. Here we're paid the same rate for the power that we use. We get paid the same rate back for any power we put in. I think it's 15 cents a kilowatt. 15 cents a kilowatt if I use it, or 15 cents a kilowatt if I put it back in. And we haven't had an electric bill in so long that I don't know what it is, except for the meter. They charge me for the meter. It's $15 or $16 a month. Other than that, everything that's all we pay. So I could see where it would be feasible to put in the night thing and get that much more. And then if something happens, the grid goes down for a week or something because of a snowstorm, or I'm not saying anything about impending doom, we get a big solar spot or something that takes the whole East Coast. I'm not talking like that. I'm just saying, you know, here the snow takes the lines down every now and then. An accident clips a pole. you're without power for hours. This way you'd have the power. Anyway, I'm just rambling on now, so I'm going to get off here. 2 more days, we're out of here. Headed south, and I hear there's a storm headed north, so I don't know. We're probably going to hit part of it, but if we do, we'll just pull into a rest stop and ride her out. But we are out of here on Saturday. For now, this is Handsome Jack of Have Gas Will Travel, and I will catch you later.